So this isn't the spreadsheet that we give you, but this is, I won't show you the whole hash, right? Because you could easily append this and see who this person is, and I don't want to show behavior with the hash, but the hash goes out a little bit further to the right. So this is just a sample, okay? A sample of one person's behavior, okay? It's not every behavior that they committed. It's not everything in and around buying a car, but it's just a sample so you can see an idea, get an idea of how easy it is. Now, where this person is geographically, we know, but we also get where the behavior happened. Like the guy could be on a computer. This particular person was in the zip code 82007 or 82901. He was on a laptop, right? So he was away at school, but he was looking for a car purchase in Georgia. So our client in Utah was pissed off, like, why are you giving me Georgia leads? He was in Utah when he was doing the work. He was doing the research. He moved, you know, he went back home from school. All right, so it just goes to show you, but what we would have done is when we push it to you, you're going to know because you can look at the zip codes of where they're from. All right, so, and this isn't, you know, every day and every behavior for the day, as you can see here. This is just one day, April 7th. All right, and then it goes into multiple days, and you'll see this is only like a week, okay? But I want to show you the behavior here, okay, which is what everybody likes to look at. So let's take a look. My apologies, you get to see the rest of my screen here. All right. So they were playing Call of Duty Infinite Warrior, so kind of gives you an idea of the type of person. Then he went to Edmunds, and he was looking at used SUVs, okay? Now, the one thing I could tell you, having looked at a ton of these, a lot of times pages refresh, and so that's why you see it repeat over and over again. In this particular case, a lot of those pages at Edmunds have all sorts of things where you can like assemble a car. You've seen those, and you never leave the page. So it just refreshes. So while this looks like 1,000 behaviors, it's not. It's probably, you know, the same behavior, but they did it for like 20 minutes to an hour, okay? So obviously he's looking at used cars in Stockbridge, Georgia, used SUVs, okay? Now, when you go to the page, which we do, we go in and we take a look at, let me see what else we have over here. What else is that? I forget what that is. Oh, that was our numbers. I'm sorry. I'll show you the lead score here in a second. All right. We do go to these pages. We do look at the semantic meaning of the page. We look at the title tags, everything. So we'll be looking at the type of used SUV. This is just the URL. We rely on a lot more than just what's in the URL. But it kind of just gives you an idea. Would you say that this guy's in the market for a car? You know, it's pretty safe to say that this guy's in the market for a car. This is a ton of auto behavior. It's over and over and over again. And then as we get down a little lower, he switches, okay, goes from Edmunds to Kelley Blue Book, and now he's looking at a Kia Optima. Then he's looking at a Hyundai Sonata. Then he's looking at a Nissan Maxima, okay? Then he goes to Walmart for the money center, okay? Then he goes to Best Buy. We don't know what he's looking at Best Buy. He starts to do a search, but he leaves, goes back to Walmart. Now look at it. Now tell me what you think he's in the market for here, okay? Let me just make this a little bit bigger so you can see it. He's looking at a Dell Precision, a refurbished Dell Precision. Then he's looking at a 15-inch laptop. Then he's looking at a Hewlett-Packard ZBook, a refurbished new Dell, an HP Compact. I mean, does it take a rocket scientist to figure out that this guy's looking for a laptop? Okay. Keep going down. He goes to eBay now. Now he's looking at an HP Pavilion, a Compact. Goes to Newegg. Okay? I mean, and then here's what happens. He stops looking. He bought it. Now, how did I know he was a college student? I knew before we actually looked him up and seen how old he was a cheapo air, right? And he's looking for airplane tickets. And this is how I knew he was a student. Student travel. Now, if he's not the student, he's the parent. But obviously, we have an idea that, this person is basically, in this one snapshot, looking at cars, looking at laptops, and looking for airplane tickets. I mean, is it that difficult to figure out what someone's in the market for? All right? And he filed his tax return late. Now, look at the date. The date that he did that was April 20th. I mean, again, we're just looking at the URL level behavior, right? We're not looking at the individual, what's on the page necessarily, which we are from a technology standpoint. But does it take a rocket scientist to see that this guy plays video games, is in the market for a car, obviously looked at and bought a laptop, or at least figured out which one he wanted? He filed his tax returns late, and he's a student who's flying. Now, how do I know where he lives? He's looking for cars in Stockbridge, Georgia, and these zip codes are in Utah. So Travelocity in the Bahamas, right, starts out in, it's April 10th. They went to Kohl's. They're reading CNN about the San Bernardino school shooting. Okay. I happened to look up this Manta.com for Hauppauge, New York, and this real estate one in Jersey. All of these are commercial properties. I used to have an office in Hauppauge, and it's one of the only counties in New York that's commercial. And I had looked it up. They were looking at weather. So if you go back to Travelocity and weather, we think that they were traveling. And then they were looking for carforsale.com, looking at the vehicle details. They're looking for cars in St. George, Utah, right? You go through more and more the vehicle detail page. Now, obviously, you can't tell what kind of car they're looking at. Obviously, we're looking at it internally. We're doing the semantic meaning for these pages all the way down the line, weather.com, and another person buying a Samsung Note, right? So, I mean, is it safe to say that this person is in the market for travel? They're going to Travelocity, looking for a car, and then they're looking for a Samsung Note at Walmart, no less.